Alexia Pinchbeck. When I started working with Juliet back in October 2024, I was really focused at that point on my work as a children's illustrator. And at the same time, I was juggling a very busy young family. I've got 2 young boys who are 10 and 7 and 2 stepdaughters who are 22 and 20. So we've got a really busy family life. Like many mums, I was kind of trying to juggle all of this and set up a sort of second part of my career. I came in from things, my background was academic. I have a degree in social and political sciences from Cambridge and went into corporate, didn't like corporate, and then set up a small startup swimwear brand, which I loved, but which I then decided to close down when I had my first baby, which is now 10 years ago. Part of the reason I closed that business down was because I knew that the illustration was in there somewhere. So I've sort of been building my children's book career from a self-published perspective, but finding my own way. And what I found really helpful with my work with Juliet is just helping me to get more clarity, better systems in place so that I don't feel like I'm juggling so many things, and more structure to my week. That's really helped me in the children's book illustration. We worked together, secured numerous different book illustration commissions, as well as general illustration commissions. I've got some work here to show you if you want. But I've now expanded my business to include print and surface pattern design. So I'm creating bold and playful designs for fashion and also interiors. What's been great about working with Juliet is that I feel much clearer about where I'm going.
Why don't we have a little promo? You're wearing one of your jackets.
Oh, yes, I am.
You're wearing your latest jacket. What illustration have you got to hand to show everybody?
The 2 books that I suppose I'd published myself before we worked together. So we've got Samuel and the Monster, and we've got Penelope and Frida. I had then worked with multiple other authors to bring their ideas to sort of illustrated, self-published life. I've got a few of them here. I think I've done about 9 different books with other authors now. And when we worked together, I came in really with very few what I'd call professional systems. So anytime an author came and got in touch with me, I'd just be scrabbling around trying to make it look professional. Whereas one of the things that we immediately started working on was the sort of paperwork and structure that I could be sending to them. So, for example, invoicing, my commission structure and explaining my fees to them and making sure that I didn't end up out of pocket because of the time that I'm taking for the illustration. So that was super helpful. I've had some other really exciting illustration work that's come through from clients. So this is an example, which is an illustrated product. It's called Deaf Identity Cards. The client came to me with a brief. She'd created a Google Pictures product, essentially. She teaches deaf children, and this product she's created was very, very popular, but she wanted it to look more professional and basically illustrated and fun. So we worked together on it. It was a really fun project, but it was only because of the clarity that you and I had got together that I was able to sort of say to her, I can give you this amount of time for this result, and then give her the appropriate documents. So they're now really easily to hand in my systems folders, and that's really helpful.
As a creative, you are always coming up with lots and lots of ideas. How have you now started to prioritize those ideas so that you are actually making more revenue, therefore feeling less stressed?
Yeah, so ideas are definitely not a problem. I'd say I probably come up with 2 or 3 a week. And I suppose what I learned from my first business is that the idea is 1% inspiration, 99% perspiration. So at least I know now from my first business that whenever I have an idea, it needs to ultimately turn into sales and revenue. If I were to have one big takeaway from our work together, it would be, which I feel like you say to me every single time we talk, is slow down to speed up. My brain runs at 1,000,000 miles an hour, and it's like I need help sort of corralling 10 horses and making them go in the right direction. You've helped me to sort of pause, get clarity and structure on those ideas. And instead of the ideas just sort of floating around, I've now got systems where I can kind of capture those ideas, but park them until I know which system to put them through to make it a money.
And what 3 words would you best describe the value of the experience you've had from working with me?
I would say clarity, focus, and growth. Clarity is to do with sort of my positioning and how I'm selling myself and where I stand in the market. Focus is to do with the sort of the structure and the systems that we've created. And also you really helped me to time block my week. I was constantly juggling the children, the household, my ideas, and the different parts of my business as well. I mean, art is a great part of it, but actually it's not, sadly, much as I'd love it to be, I really need the business structures around it. So you help me to sort of break apart my week so that my Monday morning is focused on shifting out the family admin. My Friday afternoon is the same, sort of prepping for the weekend. But my Tuesdays, Wednesdays and Thursdays are what we have called factory time, which I really like. And I get in my studio. I don't need to focus on marketing because I know when that's going to come. It just really, really helps, because otherwise it's all going on in my brain at the same time. And what is really helpful is obviously to be focused. And then, the confidence side is just, I suppose, if you are clear on what it is you're selling and who you are, it really helps you to be more confident to go out there. And I've just found having those systems like the invoices or the commission structure just means I know how to show up professionally to my potential clients. And that's when I'm showing up professionally is when I secure the clients.
Brilliant. Thanks, Lex. That's a wrap.